If you're living in the United States right now or planning to, there's one big question you might be asking yourself. Should you stay with a green card, or should you take the next step and get a U.S. passport? In 2025, under President Donald Trump's second term, this decision has become more important than ever. Immigration policies are stricter, travel rules have changed, and the differences between being a permanent resident and a full U.S. citizen have never been clearer. In today's video, we're going to break down everything you need to know: the rights, the restrictions, the travel freedoms, the risks, and the new 2025 updates that could directly impact you. By the end, you'll know exactly why, in some cases, a U.S. passport is more than just a travel document. It's a shield of protection. First, let's get the basics straight. A green card, officially called a lawful permanent resident card, gives you the legal right to live and work in the United States indefinitely. It's not a temporary visa, it's long-term residency. But here's the thing: even though it's called permanent, it can still be taken away under certain conditions. A U.S. passport, on the other hand, is proof of full U.S. citizenship. Once you're a citizen, you have the highest level of legal protection, the broadest travel privileges, and your status cannot be revoked except in extremely rare cases, like proven fraud when obtaining it. Now, under the Trump administration's 2025 policies, this difference matters even more. Green card holders are still considered foreign nationals. That means immigration authorities can and will review your case if they believe you've broken certain laws, lied in your application, or abandoned your residency. Trump's Department of Homeland Security has made it clear: no one is completely safe from review if they are not a citizen. This is part of the zero-tolerance approach we've been seeing, especially toward those with any kind of criminal record, even minor offenses that, years ago, might have been overlooked. Let's talk about rights inside the U.S. As a green card holder, you can live here, work almost any job, and access many public benefits, but not all. Certain federal jobs, especially in law enforcement, homeland security, or positions requiring high-level security clearance, are off-limits. You also can't vote in federal elections. A U.S. passport means you're a citizen, which unlocks full rights. You can vote, run for office, get all government benefits, and apply for any job, including those restricted to citizens only. But where this really gets interesting is when we talk about travel freedom in 2025. Green card holders often assume that because they live in the U.S., they can travel freely like American citizens. That's not true. Your ability to travel without a visa depends on your original nationality, not your green card. For example, if you have a Bangladeshi passport and a U.S. green card, you still need a visa to enter the European Union, the UK, Canada, Australia, and many other countries. Meanwhile, a U.S. passport gives you visa-free or visa-on-arrival access to over 190 countries, making it one of the most powerful passports in the world. And here's a new 2025 update. The European Union's ETIAS travel system is coming into effect this year. U.S. passport holders will simply register online for a small fee and travel freely across Europe. Green card holders, however, will still need to apply for full visas if their original passport requires it. That means more paperwork, more fees, and longer processing times for every trip. Now let's address the elephant in the room: re-entry into the United States. This is where green card holders are most vulnerable under Trump's stricter border rules. In the past, if you stayed outside the U.S. for a few months, re-entry was relatively easy. Today, CBP officers are instructed to question green card holders more aggressively, especially if they've been outside for more than 6 months, stay outside for over a year without a re-entry permit, and you could lose your status entirely. We've already seen reports in 2025 of green card holders being stopped at airports, sent to secondary inspection, and even having their cases sent to immigration courts because officers claimed they had abandoned their residency. U.S. passport holders? They walk right through, no risk, no questioning about how long they've been away. This leads us to one of the most important points: deportation risk. Green card holders can be deported. It's rare for those with clean records, but the possibility is always there, especially under the current administration's expanded list of deportable offenses. Crimes involving drugs, domestic disputes, fraud, or even certain tax violations can put your status at risk. A U.S. passport shields you from deportation completely. Once you're a citizen, the U.S. government cannot kick you out. You are one of them. Now, let's talk about the path from green card to U.S. passport. If you're married to a U.S. citizen, you can apply for citizenship after 3 years of holding a green card. For everyone else, it's 5 years. The process involves filing Form N-400, passing an English and civics test, and attending a naturalization interview. Under Trump, USCIS has increased scrutiny during the naturalization process. So expect more questions about your background, travel history, and even your tax records. But if your case is clean and your paperwork is accurate, the approval rate is still high. One thing to remember: naturalization is not automatic. You must apply for it, pay the fees, and meet all the requirements. Too many green card holders put it off because they think they don't need it. Then something happens: a job opportunity in another country, a long trip to care for family, or a minor legal issue. And suddenly, their status is at risk. That's why immigration lawyers are advising: if you qualify for citizenship, take it as soon as you can. Let's also touch on family benefits. Both green card holders and citizens can sponsor family members, but citizens get faster processing and can sponsor more categories of relatives. For example, a citizen can immediately petition for a spouse, unmarried children under 21, and parents without waiting for a visa number. Green card holders face waiting lists that can stretch for years in some categories. Travel emergencies are another area where the U.S. passport wins every time. Imagine you're overseas and a crisis happens. A war breaks out, a natural disaster strikes, or the local government collapses. The U.S. government will go to great lengths to rescue and evacuate its citizens. As a green card holder, you can still request help, but you're not a top priority because you're not a citizen. In unstable times, that protection can mean the difference between getting out safely and being stranded. So, with all of this in mind, what's the smart move in 2025? If you're a green card holder and eligible for citizenship, start the process now. The political climate is unpredictable, and immigration rules are tightening. Trump's administration is focused on enforcing the law to the letter, and that means every green card holder is still under the microscope. A U.S. passport takes you out of that category forever. To sum it up, here's the quick comparison. Green card. You can live and work in the U.S., but you have limited travel freedom, can lose your status, and face possible deportation if you make certain mistakes. U.S. passport. You get full rights, maximum travel freedom, and the strongest legal protection available. In 2025, under Trump's immigration rules, the gap between these two statuses is wider than ever. If you've been putting off citizenship, think about your future. Think about your family's safety. Think about the doors a U.S. passport can open, not just for travel, but for peace of mind. And remember, immigration laws can change overnight. But once you're a U.S. citizen, those changes can't touch you. So, whether you're in the middle of your green card process, just got approved, or have been a permanent resident for years, ask yourself, are you ready to take the final step? In 2025, it's not just a choice. For many, it's a necessity.